All right, we're here with Adam Stoltz, Director of Enrollment Marketing at University of Idaho. They recently did a homepage redesign that was very student centered. I thought it was really cool. I saw it on LinkedIn, so we got Adam here today to talk to us about that. So thanks for being here, Adam.
Yeah, thanks, John. Happy to meet with you and happy to chat about some of the mindset that we have on how we view recruiting students and the marketing efforts that we have. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, tell me about that. Let's start there. How do you view students and recruitment from a design perspective?
Yeah, I think we're always trying to learn where the students are. I think a lot of times we get into the mindset, we as a higher education institution and higher ed in general, sometimes we're really focused on what we can provide, maybe too much on rankings or too much on about the university. And so we're really about trying to figure out what the student is looking for and what can we do to help them. And I think the one thing that we're looking at as far as like the homepage redesign was really to kind of be where the students are. What do they need? What do they want? What do they want to know about? And so we did a lot of research and we did a lot of back and forth, just kind of figuring out, hey, the students need to have less friction. They need to know exactly what they need to do and get to it, rather than like, hey, can you jump through this hoop and then maybe this hoop and then this hoop and then, well, we still want you to hear, but we're trying to make the steps as less painful as possible. Like I said, just reducing that friction as much as possible.
Yeah, reducing friction is absolutely huge on it's your website is the most important, I feel like the most important part. It's like where everything centers, like all the content that you do, it's about getting people to the website. So if you have a website that has tons of friction, you're just leaking potential students like crazy. And that was the thing immediately that I noticed about this new redesign was without even really, I just kind of clicked on the link. I didn't even really read your post much, that it kind of explained it, but I was like, wow, this is really intuitive and simple and clear. And if I was a prospective student, I would like find myself in one of these boxes that you have, because it's very clear. It's like, if you're here, here's what you might need to know. If you're here, here's what you might need to do here.
We really tried to map out the journey as much as possible, because we know we have some students who are still thinking about applying. We're rolling admission here, and so there are students who are going to go apply. We know also some students are admitted and are kind of like, I still don't know my financial aid this year, because we know the FAFSA was a little bit messed up this year, as a little bit of an understatement. So we're always trying to figure out what's next. We also know students that are like, I want to be here, but I need to do housing. I need to get my classes and things like that. So we really tried to find different parts of the journeys for different types of students in their different stages as well. The other thing I think true is, right off the bat here, the big things is you can connect with somebody. And so we have to connect with admissions staff. We also have, we are doing a lot of things with our financial aid and scholarship office. So if you want to connect about your financial aid award, or maybe you haven't done the FAFSA, we know a lot of students haven't done that yet. And so I think that's a big key for us. We also want students to connect with other students. And so we kind of prominently put joining our Zimi chat. And so I think that's another opportunity. We're very much a community-based, very much a social type of institution. And at the University of Idaho, it's really important that future vandals connect with future vandals and current vandals. And so we're in a good spot where if you need help with something, you just have to ask. And if we don't know the answer, if I didn't know the answer, I know somebody who does. And so I think that's where we're trying to showcase that community before you even get here. We're right on that really sweet spot where, we're in the midst of, we're the flagship institution of the state. We are going to be R1 and have all these big research opportunities for students, but we're also not terribly large. We're right around 11,000 students. So we're at that sweet spot where you have access to do all these things, study abroad, Division I sports, all those type of things, but you're not going to be lost in a classroom of 1,000 or 1,500 or something just huge. And so we really try to showcase that as much as possible.
Cool. I love that. I loved the Zimi element too. That was one of the first things I noticed. Obviously, it's probably the point because it's like highlighted in yellow. I thought that was really smart to just like, help other students connect with other students. I thought it was a very modern approach. I was talking to Joel Goodman from Bravery Media on my podcast that came out this week. we're talking about the Simpson Scarborough CMO study that came out, and it was something like 70, like I want to say like I forget what the ratio was. It was a lot of people. It was like 40 something percent of schools that were like they're planning on doing a redesign, but they weren't planning on modernizing it. Like they weren't planning on like doing anything dramatically different. And we were just laughing about that. It's like, I'm going to spend the money on it. I'm going to spend this limited budget, but we're not going to do it very good.
Yeah, totally. And this is kind of the first iteration. We are going to be doing more in the next upcoming year to kind of revamp the website. I think the other thing that we, from us, I come from a background of the enrollment side, but I have a lot of marketing as well. And so my position's, I think, fairly unique in the mindset that I report to the chief marketing officer, but I'm embedded within our strategic enrollment management. And so I kind of have the high level marketing that I see, but I'm hearing what the students are looking for. And I'm actually, I will check people in for our events, and I'll hear and we'll talk about them and their experience and kind of like where they like, I had an issue with this or I had an issue with that. And so I kind of hear the both worlds kind of thing.
Yeah.
I also have a president who is very supportive of enrollment and marketing. So that is huge for us. And then our chief marketing officer comes from a background of working with like mostly ASICs and things like that. So different mindset as far as like, we're not trying to compare ourselves to other institutions and universities and things like that. We're trying to get in a mindset of like, where are those students looking at for other things outside of higher education? So where are they shopping? What are they wearing? What kind of trends are those students really getting into? And so we're trying to be more attuned to that, and then making our website and other things more in tune with what the students are looking for.
Cool. I love it. All right. Well, final thoughts. Like what would you say to a marketing director, enrollment marketer that's looking to do a website redesign or a homepage redesign? What would be some of the major takeaways that you guys have learned in this process?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is really just trying to figure out what the students truly need and want, and reducing the friction. I think is just the biggest thing. I think sometimes in higher education, we make it so onerous and so difficult to get things done. And students are already kind of stressed. There's all kinds of articles out there about students are under more stress than they've ever been. They're scared about the FAFSA. They're scared about the application. They're just they just want to find a place to get in. They want to find a place where they can meet friends and feel comfortable and safe. It's kind of the Maslow hierarchy of needs. They want to know where they're going to be eating. They want to know where they're going to be living. They want to know who their friends are. And then so the self-actualization of like, this is who I am, and this is where we want to be able to help students find themselves. And I think, again, just making sure that students are aware of all the things that we have. And if they're running into issues, having a website that's intuitive enough to say, let's go solve your problem. Let's go figure out what we can do. And making it, I think to your point, what's really nice about the website, it's clean, it's easy to navigate, and we can always improve. We're always doing SEO work and things like that to kind of improve the entire experience. But I think just to have it simplified and kind of know your audience and make sure that if they're saying, hey, I'm having trouble finding this, and this, that put it up front and center. Same thing with the FAFSA this year. We knew that was going to be an issue, and so we kind of put that front and center on our homepage as well, and really just trying to create those things in the back end, connecting with our CRM, which is Slate, and making sure that we're connecting the dots from what the students want and need, but also internally, what's left hand doing and the right hand doing. We're communicating internally to make sure that everyone knows what's going on and how and when and why. And making sure that we're all on the same page. That's probably my biggest advice that I can give.
Awesome. Love it. Well, this has been great. Thanks for being here. Where can people connect with you at if they wanted to ask you any questions?
Yeah, always happy to connect on LinkedIn. So it's Adam Stoltz, Stoltz.
All right. Thanks.